The long rifle was developed on the American frontier in southeastern Pennsylvania in the 1730s. It was designed to be light, slender, and graceful, and was the first true American firearm. It was initially created in Lancaster, Pennsylvania by skillful immigrant craftsmen who had come to America from Germany and Switzerland. This firearm has been called the Kentucky rifle, the Pennsylvania rifle, or the American long rifle. The guns of the first American colonists were not rifles. They were smoothbore flintlock muskets imported from Europe. For a number of reasons, these old muskets were not suitable for the American frontier. They were quite heavy, which made tasks such as hunting require more strength. These smoothbore muskets were known as Brown Bessies and fired round balls of lead, which had to be larger and heavier for more striking force in their terminal ballistics. Because of their large diameter, between 0.6 to 0.7 inches in caliber, these guns required the use of more gunpowder, more lead, and created more recoil when fired. Gunpowder and lead were in short supply on the frontier. The guns had a shorter range as they were heavy, had no particular spin, and so had a higher air resistance and a likelihood to wobble, like a knuckleball pitch in baseball. They had a high air resistance, which slowed them greatly, giving them shorter range. This unpredictable motion made muskets fairly ineffective beyond a range of about 60 yards. Gunsmiths in Lancaster, Pennsylvania solved these problems by reducing the bore diameter of the long rifle down to 50 caliber and 45 caliber. 1 pound of lead could then produce 70 to 120 bullets. The barrel length was also increased to 40 inches, which provided extra thrust from exploding gunpowder. In comparison, the Brown Bessie muskets typically had 30-inch barrels. Finally, the barrel of the Kentucky long rifle, as its name suggests, was rifled. The bore of the barrel had helical grooves spiraling down its length. These grooves force the bullet to spin as it shoots down the barrel and exits the muzzle. A spinning bullet has much more stability in flight, better ballistics, and therefore much greater range and accuracy. The long rifle was more accurate than any known previous firearm, and it soon became famous because a shot could be deadly at over 200 yards, which was an astonishing range at that time. This rifle became the primary weapon of the frontiersmen, especially in the isolated and hazardous wilds of Tennessee and Kentucky. The extensive use of this gun in Kentucky led to the adoption of the name Kentucky rifle. Daniel Boone carried a Kentucky rifle when he blazed a trail through the Cumberland Gap in the Appalachian Mountains. During the Revolutionary War, the British soldiers trained for volley shooting and carried Brown Bessie muskets. While many of the American patriot fighters also carried muskets, George Washington made a special effort to recruit frontiersmen who owned Kentucky rifles. There were some advantages to the Brown Bessie muskets. They could be loaded easily and more quickly than rifles and did not require specific caliber bullets. In fact, they could fire anything in the barrel of the gun and could even function as a shotgun. When it came to using the Kentucky rifle, some of Washington's new recruits were not trained in using the Kentucky rifle accurately. Ultimately, General Washington collected about 1,400 riflemen with Kentucky rifles. British spies quickly became aware that this company of riflemen were particularly deadly, and so they avoided them in the field. These riflemen became the first Army snipers, operating at the flanks of the regular Army. At the Battle of Saratoga in 1777, riflemen picked off British officers from a distance, which greatly contributed to the Americans' victory and was a decisive battle of the war. Because of the ingenuity of colonial craftsmen and the specialized field training and courage of sniper soldiers, American patriot forces were able to employ technological advantages in battle, which helped win the war against the British.